What up, though? And welcome to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Kurt Steele. On today's show, we look at some upcoming free agents that may be a fit for the Detroit Lions. But plus, and please do us a quick favor, like this video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us with this YouTube algorithm. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 3,000 subscribers, and we are currently at 2,745. And we now have channel memberships, man. I kind of updated some of the emojis, so go check that out over there on our homepage of the channel. And it's another way to help us grow this show and get this content to more Detroit Lions fans like yourself. Now it's time to bring in my co-host for today's show, man. He doesn't have his overalls on today, but you know it's Hump Day, which it means it is Thursday Eve. It's my man, LL Cool Tones. What's going on, my dude?
What's up,
Yeah, man.
Happy Wednesday morning.
Man, make sure I had to bring me a yam on, had me a prop one day. Had a yam just flashing on the screen one day. All right, man, y'all know who it is, man. It's the hardest working man down there in Jackson, Michigan. He's been coaching kids, cooking meals, running phase, man. And they say it takes a village because he got one. It's the Wolf and Lion. Who?
No work today because the kids is on spring break, man. Coach Mike Jones.
All right, man. If you're new to the show and you don't know how it works, what we do is we look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they are bossed up. If we disagree, we say they are balled on, and we give our takes or reasons why we agree or disagree. Now, what we don't do here is give a whole bunch of hot takes, man. We don't be talking this to be talking. We won't be Stephen A. over here. We won't be Skip Bayless over here. We give you our true thoughts and opinions about what's going on with our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. We keep it a buck here on our platform, man. And if you have any doubts, like I told you before, if some BS is on the screen, LL gonna be making a face, man. His facial expression is gonna tell you he think it's some BS because it's the real, man. Yeah,
LL emoji.
Yeah, man, he be giving them out all the time. If it's a BS, he give you free emojis right here on the screen. But yeah, man, make sure you support the channel, man. Like I said, like and subscribe, man, and definitely hit the notification bell so you know when you're getting that fresh content right here on the Boss Up All Out podcast. All right, so today, my man, I asked the fellas what we want to talk about. We are, and I said we were like, 10 days. No, we're not. Free agency starts actually on Monday. That's when the legal tender period starts on Monday. So some moves are going to be made. Some deals are going to be agreed to starting on Monday. So some players are already getting re-signed by their current teams. And franchise tag thing was yesterday with the deadline. The only 2 players in the whole league got franchise tag yesterday.
People got traded.
Yeah, some trades happened. So, keep your ear to the street.
Jonah, we was just talking about Ben Johnson got Jonah Jackson.
Back, he going to the Bears. I don't know what the hell that was about. My thing is, if you want to keep injured guards on your roster, have at it. I don't know.
Was he healthy? Was he healthy, or was he just terrible for them last year?
He was hurt and terrible. It's a combination, man.
Terrible.
Man, he was a value meal, man. He brought everything to the table last year for the Rams. And I got a partner, man. They brought that there. The Rams are saying good riddance. Like, we gotta holler at you. Because you don't sign a free agent to a contract like that and then trade him the next season.
You remember I was saying that maybe the Lions should think about trading us. I said, no, just wait for him to get cut. Mm-hmm. So he went for a 6. So yeah, he was almost cut. So
yeah, he was just about that. But all right, let's get into what we want to talk about today about the Detroit Lions, man. We're going to talk about these free agents, man, and kind of compare some upcoming free agents. Should the Lions sign this guy or that guy? And first up, because he really came up with the idea of what he wanted to talk about. We're gonna hit it up to Coach Mike Jones. You up first, man, and your two fellas that you talking about. Who should we sign, this guy or that guy? So I'm gonna put you on the screen first and have at it, my dude.
Oh, dang, you just surprised the heck out of me. No, you know what? So there's been a lot of talks. Soon as Darius Slay got released, all over my Twitter feed, bring Darius Slay home. Bring him home. You know, he got his ring. He done ring chasing. Um, and then there's other mumbles like Carlton Davis is our top priority. Well, I want to let y'all in on a little secret. We're only gonna get one of them. Okay, we're not gonna bring in two veteran cornerbacks. Okay, and the reality of the situation is that Darius Slay is more affordable than Carlton Davis because Darius Slay contract got brought out. Okay, so they paid $13 million, and Darius Slay was brought out. Carlton Davis is expecting a new contract, and so far, I forgot which website I seen it on. I couldn't pull up; it was on my phone. He is projected at a 3-year, $40+ million contract, and I was like 14 mil plus a season for Carlton Davis. Now Darius Slay, since he got brought out, he probably would take a $6-7 million deal and go somewhere and try to chase another Super Bowl. Now you want to think, what does each man have left in the tank? So you would think that Carlton Davis, of course, has more left in the tank than Darius Slay. But I mean, which may be so, but you gotta think too, the injury history. You know, Carlton Davis, I don't think he's played a full season yet in his career. I don't think he's played back when it was 16 games to now it's 17 games. I don't think he's played a full season yet. Darius Slay has a few full seasons under his belt. So, the thing is Carlton Davis he's a shutdown guy. He's a lockdown your number one man guy. But the only problem is Carlton Davis might not be healthy when it comes time when you need him. And that is the biggest factor in all of this. If we pay Carlton Davis $14 million a year, is Carlton Davis going to be around when we need him? That is the biggest question. So, with all that being said, I think that we bring back Darius Slay and we let Carlton Davis walk in free agency and let him go to the Jets because AG will overprice him. Cornerback love. He'll be over there. He'll overprice him, and I think Darius Slay is a veteran. And he will come in. He can slide in at the CB2 spot, and Terrion Arnold is gonna have to step up. Like he's gonna have to step up. He's had a year now. He's gonna have to do his thing, and I think he can come in and kind of mentor TA man. And I think Darius Slay can come in at a cheaper price. It's not the move that I necessarily want. I would rather have Carlton Davis come back. But at that price tag, I'm thinking Darius Slay is the better option or the cheaper option. And, Brad Holmes is cheaper to keeper. You know what I'm saying? That's it don't really go with what I'm saying, but that's, that's kind of slogan Brad Holmes go by, man. So with that being said, man, I think that bringing Darius Slay back is a good idea. Just looking at the cap ramifications, that Darius Slay is not owed any money. Darius Slay's contract was brought out. Carlton Davis is looking for that big payday now. Okay, he's looking for his biggest contract to date. So with that being said, what is y'all take on this, man?
All right, so I'm going to let LL go next, and then I'll bring up mine because I already kind of know what he gonna say because I may know what he gonna say because I know what he calls somebody. So we go bring him to the stage next, man. All right, LL, what you got?
no medium play slays around here.
That's what he
You
got.
right. You right. No medium play slate. Unless you want to come here for 1750. Other than that, like you said, just encompassing what you said. Cheaper ain't always the best. Sometimes you get what you pay for. And I don't really know how much more expensive Carlton Davis is gonna be now. We might lose players to both of our coordinators. So that's always gonna be a thing here, like a risk, I guess. But I wouldn't mind. Or of these two, if we ask who am I choosing out of these two, I'm bringing back Carlton Davis. I don't want medium play Slay at all. Too old, too slow, getting beat too bad, and all of that stuff. Like if you want to come and be a coach, yeah, or whatever. Like I said, or just on the cheapest deal possible, and bring back Carlton Davis. I'm not bringing him back to replace Carlton Davis at all. But one thing that I want to bring up that you said that's just universal. Jerry Arnold got to step up, put that mic down. That music wasn't. Well, I ain't gonna speak on the music. Do that in when you're not playing football no more. But for the moment, yeah, work on playing football and getting better at that. And then whoever plays next to him will be better off for it.
Yeah, so real quick, the expected contract of Carlton Davis is expected to be about $14.5 million, according to a couple of sources.
It's about what he made last year, right?
Yeah. I think that he's going to try and go for a little bit more than that. I think he's going to try to push for around 17. And I would pay it, but I just don't think Brad Holmes, him being fiscally responsible, is going to pay that. And I think that Aaron Glenn will pay that, but I just don't think that. Yeah.
Do the Jets have money? I don't know the Jets cap situation. Do they have money like that to be signing Carlton Davis to a deal?
Oh, they just got rid of a bunch of money, releasing Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. They just got rid of. They just dumped a whole bunch of money. All right, for me, all right. LL, stop hating. The dude's been working out. I don't know he did his music video, but he has been posting videos of him working out. So he is working out. You can do both. You can do both.
Don't do both.
You can do both because you can't say people can't have hobbies. So
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm saying the music.
That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's what you're saying. Okay, all right, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think the clarification. For me, looking at this situation, I would definitely want Carlton Davis. Now, I'm wearing a 23 jersey right now. So is it Slay? Is it Davis? I don't know.
Is it Jerry Jacobs?
No, absolutely not. But
is it Chris Houston?
I will say this. Oh no, not Chris Houston. I'm not gonna say I didn't like Chris Houston, but
I didn't.
He wasn't my guy. But I like Slay. And I will always be indebted to Slay. If y'all have been watching me for years, man, I sent a like a plush, like a signature ball, like that people sign. And I used to carry it around to different deployments and stuff like that. It's a Lions ball, and I sent it to my man Nino, asked him to sign it, Quandre Diggs, and he got the whole secondary to sign it. So, and that included Slay and a few other guys. So I will always have a big place in my heart for my man, Big Play Slay. But at this point, I'm taking Carlton Davis. One, he's younger. Two, even last season, I would say he played the most of the season with an injury. That freak accident that he broke his jaw like late in the year. That's just kind of like that's a freakish kind of accident. I can't say that you can't put it like on conditioning or his body, like he's not in shape or anything like that. Like when the guy had the thumb, like the broken thumb or something, whatever, he just cast it up and kept playing. So, and I think he wants to be here, and that's the one of the things you can't sign guys that don't want to be where be where you are. Like, and Carlton Davis has expressed his desire to come back and or stay in Detroit. So, and I think he may take around $15 million to stay in Detroit. Just up it a little bit maybe add some incentives. So, and I think that right now with the style of play that the Lions are trying to do, I think his mentorship helped TA, especially on that back end of the season, especially when he was out. So what I would say is I'm bringing back Carlton Davis, man, and Deshae Townsend can use Slay as an assistant secondary coach. So that's my thing.
But you know what? What I just want to get this clear, just for y'all understanding, I think Carlton Davis is the better choice. That's not even a question. But I think Carlton Davis might price himself out because Carlton Davis now is looking for that big. He's looking for probably the biggest deal he's gonna get in his career.
That prime deal.
Because him being in his late 20s, you're not gonna expect the biggest deal of your career north of 30. You're gonna expect it around that 26 to 29-year-old range, and so that's the only reason why I say I'm Darius Slay. I'm not favoring the play. I think Carlton Davis is he's a lockdown guy. He rises to the occasion. I think Slay's on the downside of his career, but just that price, man. I don't know. We got some contracts coming up. We got a lot of people to pay, so I don't know.
I mean, we'll see. That salary cap keep going up too. All right, man. Like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. And make sure you go check out my latest video over on LNU, man. Like my man Easy said, I went ether on Ben Johnson yesterday. So go check that thing out. Check out the shorts, the reels, and then the full length video over there on the LNU YouTube channel, man. Had some things to say about that fella over there in Chicago, man, out there faking the funk, thinking he hard. You ain't hard, bro. You ain't hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sit your ass down.
Cool.
All right. this yapping. All right, LL, you up next, man. What are the two guys you gonna talk about today, man?
Well, I had proposed the idea of either, some free agent defensive end or edge options, and those options are Khalil Mack and DeMarcus Lawrence. Before I looked into these guys, I didn't know just how similar they are, just as far as like build and all of that stuff. DeMarcus Lawrence goes 6'3", 265, and Khalil Mack goes 6'3", 269, allegedly. Of course, both are pass rushers. One is immensely better than the other. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought DeMarcus Lawrence was better than what he is. I guess maybe he is as good, but maybe the numbers just don't show it. I look at DeMarcus Lawrence's numbers. They've been in the league the exact same time. Both came in 2014. Both played all the way up until now. That's 11 seasons. I look at a couple totals. Sacks for DeMarcus Lawrence is 61 and a half, 450 tackles. 97 tackles for loss. His best seasons came in 2017. He had 14 and a half sacks. His next best season was the very next season, 2018. He had 10 and a half. Right? The Dallas Cowboys let him walk, and he's just out there waiting for somebody to sign him. He is a power end, like almost, more so like Lower Zed, Darius Smith. One thing that he's really good at, I don't know if y'all remember in that the Cowboys game where they cheated us. The most recent Cowboys game where they cheated us. DeMarcus Lawrence was tearing us up. Like, he was crashing on that end. You put a tight end on him, he was going right around him. Anybody, he was just shutting. He was doing his job on that side, kind of like what Max Crosby did when we played him. He was crashing that end hard, and he had a pretty good impact. As far as Khalil Mack, we were a little bit familiar when we played in Chicago from 2018 to 2021. His totals are 107 and a half total sacks, total tackles 630, and 142 tackles for loss. Like I said, they both came in 2014. Khalil Mack's best season was 2015. He had 15 sacks. His next best season came in 2018. He had 12 and a half, but he had in between then he had 15, 11, 10 and a half, 12 and a half. So, he's been the better pass rusher. Not so much as he's pretty much like a power rush end. He doesn't crash so hard as DeMarcus Lawrence does, but Khalil Mack is a very good player. I don't know exactly how much he has left, like either of these guys have left in the tank. But most recently, Khalil Mack put up 17 sacks in 2023 and then 6 last year. So, he may not want the biggest contract, but pass rushers come at a premium. So I don't know what a not big contract is going to look like for a pass rusher. Not big, still might be like 16, 17 million. And I don't really want to pay either of these guys that much. But if one of them want to come for, like I'd say, the joking way is $17.50 an hour, they want to come for about a good 10, 11 million a year. Maybe that might be too high, but just a better deal. I think both of these guys would be a viable option. And honestly, just for conversation's sake, but we might not need them because we have Jadarius Smith. We're probably going to draft a couple guys and re-sign some guys. So neither of these options may be the best, but of these two, who would you choose, DeMarcus Lawrence or Khalil Mack?
What my man say on high? Nan, I want on Nan Nutter. One of these Nan Nutter. I would say DeMarcus Lawrence. I won't say he's overrated, but I will say he gets the pub because he plays for the Cowboys. That just is what it is.
Solid. He's been solid.
I mean, he has good numbers, and he's a very good player. But like you said, you look at the numbers, you think it would be better, and I think that the reason why that you think his numbers will be better because of where he plays. Khalil Mack, he's been in the league for a while, man. How much tread did you have left on those tires? I wouldn't want his running mate either. I wouldn't want Joey Bosa, who's kind of been let know he's going to be walking in free agency as well. Like they're going to be revamping their defensive line out there in LA for the Chargers. But I'm not impressed with either one of these guys. Not saying I haven't been in the past, but I'm talking about the current versions of these guys. I would pass on both of these guys because I don't want. I mean, they're both up there in age, and I'm looking at them like, how much do they really have left in the tank? We're talking about, guys who are coming toward the end of their career. They're definitely 1 foot out of the prime. So I wouldn't take either one of these guys. What you got, Coach Jones?
Well, honestly, what you're saying is correct about the gas tank. But if I had to choose one, I'm taking Khalil Mack. I'm putting him as a situational pass rusher. I think he would come in at a discounted price because you ring chasing now. When you at this age in your career, you're ring chasing. Okay, so I would bring him in. A 1 year, $6 million deal that's incentive driven. So you got to do something when you're here. You just ain't here on the contract just getting money. You got to do something. And I think him being a situational pass rusher is the way to go. I think that that's the spot for him. So I'm taking Khalil Mack over DeMarcus Lawrence. I just don't. DeMarcus Lawrence, his name just in the pass rush category, it just don't do nothing for me. And I don't know if that's just my biasness or what, but he just like his name. I'm like, I'm straight. We'll see who we get in the fifth round. So, but definitely Khalil Mack, man, because he's more of a guy that you can put on the edge on that, say a second and short or second and long or a third and long or something, and you just pin his ears back and let him go. So and he's gonna get there. So DeMarcus Lawrence, you don't know what's on his mind or what mental things he going through, and I don't want none of them because if we go through them in the D, we gonna go through them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just not like I said, I'm not really a big fan of either one of these guys, but it is what it is. Hey man, like the video and share this video and comment on the video. All these things help us get these content to more Detroit Lions fans like yourself, man. We're gonna bring you what we think about what's going on, man. Free agency starting in about 5 days, man. So we getting ready for it, man. Now, for me, it's not really about one's a free agent and one's a trade target. So my thing is Garrett or Sweat. And I know everyone wants to talk about Myles Garrett. We've talked about this in nauseum and how the Lions have been aggressive going towards trying to trade for Myles Garrett. Is no secret. It's like it's the worst kept secret in the league. They said the Lions were going after him heavy last season, especially when Hutch went down, and they ended up getting Darius Smith. But they've kind of picked the phone up again to see if he's available for trade. And now they're saying the trade may not be as high. It may not take two first round picks to get him. It may take 1 and a 3 or 1 and and something else down the line, or 1 and a player to be named. But I want to talk about another player that may be an option for the Lions, and he's going to be a pending free agent. So you look at this player, man. I think the Lions should look at signing defensive end free agent Josh Sweat instead of trading for Myles Garrett, and for a few reasons. First of all, Sweat is younger; he's only 27. Wouldn't cost as much. His contract for last year, projected contract, is probably about between $10 to $12 million. You're not paying that for Myles Garrett. You already know, because he wants a rework deal anyway. So they can allocate some of those valuable resources into keeping some of their own players on the roster. Coach Jones, you said it. The Lions got to re-sign some players. So why not go with a younger, cheaper option and make sure you can bring back some of the guys that you want to keep on the roster? Bringing him aboard would definitely help that defensive line without a hefty price tag, and not having to get rid of so much draft capital if you trade for someone like Myles Garrett. For Sweat, he really knows how to create pressure and make some game-changing plays when it counts. We all saw his impact in the Super Bowl, man. He had those offensive tackles on skates, and he was making life hell for Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Bringing Sweat on board for me would not only boost that pass rush, but it also gives them some flexibility to build a balanced team and keep a competitive team for a few years down the line. Because, looking at Myles Garrett and what he would demand, you're going to look at some of those contracts. You're going to have to let some guys walk if you trade for Myles Garrett, just because of what his fiscal demands are going to be. So for me, I think this strategy fits long term with the focus on growing some talent. Of course, I said he's younger, and it just makes it more well-rounded for me. You don't have to rely, because you already have a big name defensive end and with Aiden Hutchinson, and you don't have to rely on just him, because Josh Sweat, man, he has some great success, man, and he can do his thing. What he can do is nothing to sneeze at. And coming in with his numbers and then looking at him as far as his regular season, he averages around between 8 to 10 sacks a season. There's no big pressure for him to go out and get 12, 15 sacks, because we already know that's Hutch's alley. So I'm liking Josh Sweat right now over Myles Garrett, just because of all the impact that Garrett's going to have on the roster and on the salary cap. So that's my thing. Garrett or Sweat, what do you guys think? Let me pull this back up, get you guys back on camera. All right, so I'm going to let my man LL go first, because I know the defensive line coach is going to have something interesting to say about this. I'm going to let him go last, man. Say the best for last.
The best going right now, but no, I offer this. I don't like that when everybody say, oh, this is the, he, because of the price, and that's it. I understand that. A couple things with that. I don't know what Myles Garrett want as far as a contract. I don't know if anything has came out about that. Everybody probably want to get paid, but some things, it's worth sacrificing if you actually want to win. He actually is getting, paid pretty decent, so that's a decent salary to come win something, if we could actually win something. So that's my thoughts on that. I don't really know what he wants as far as contract demands. I do like Josh Sweat, though. I don't want to say that what I'm about to say. I don't want to say like I don't like Josh Sweat. The only thing is I just tell this story. Years and years ago, when the iPhone first came out, and all the other phone companies start coming out with their iPhone, They start calling them iPhone killers. Myself, I was getting every other phone because I wasn't on a network that had iPhone. So I was on Verizon. I got the LG Dare. I got the LG whatever else it was. It was supposed to be the iPhone killer. I ended up getting the BlackBerry Storm, which is supposed to be the big time iPhone killer. You know what I ended up getting and had ever since? An iPhone. So sometimes it's well, we can get this, we can get something that's just like it. We gonna get something that's, kind of like it. He's still gonna be able to do this, he's still gonna be able to do that. You're absolutely correct, but it ain't that iPhone. So if you really want Myles Garrett, and that's one thing I want to say as well, because I talk a lot of shit about Brad Holmes not doing much or his inactivity. It's good to hear at least that he's been trying. I mean, I thought we heard that anyway, that he had called he had called about Myles Garrett around the time when Hutch got hurt. And then once again, when we were, exploring the trade for Zadarius Smith, I heard that they were checking in as well. And I guess that we're hearing that they've been in communication, since then. So I'm loving to hear that at least, you know what I'm saying? I love to hear that from Brad Holmes. So even if we don't get him, at least you tried. That'd be my problem. Like, you hear all this stuff. Oh, can we get him? Can we get him? And then a player that we won't go to the team. In this instance, I'm gonna say like the Patriots for like a 4th round pick, and we like, what the fuck? So I'm glad that at least we're hearing it this way. So even if it does happen that way, at least we know that he tried, right? But and out of those two, I'm going with Myles Garrett, and I'm going based upon just bringing him in on the contract that he's on, and he's willing to work or play on that to actually win something. So and that's based upon it. Myles Garrett's just a better football player. Josh Smith works well on that defensive line. He had an excellent Super Bowl. We don't know what Myles Garrett gonna look like in the Super Bowl because he ain't got there. But Myles Garrett is clearly the better player, probably the best at that position in the league, at least one of them. So I don't think there's a thing that you can do as far as improving on that. If you, like you said, we got a big name pass rusher that's gonna get you 10 or 12 sacks. And now what if we got another one? You know what I'm saying? It creates a problem that other teams will have to figure out. Now, how likely that is, we all expressed that already. I don't really think it's that likely, but I would love it to happen. But out of these two, I'm choosing Myles Garrett over Joshua.
All right. Coach Jones, what you got, man?
What Lil Rel say? This is serious. Serious ridiculousness. Come on, man. There's no comparison to Myles Garrett. There's no kind of, maybe a little bit or nothing like that. He's the most dominant defensive player in the NFL, and he will be probably for the next 3 years, 2-3 years, which because he takes care of his body like none other. And if you sign Josh Sweat, who he's not a bad player at all, but if you sign Josh Sweat, it's probably gonna be to a 3-year deal. Myles Garrett, you're gonna have him for 3 years. You look at what he has done. Josh Sweat, I'm speaking on the last couple of seasons: 11 sacks, 6.5 sacks, and 8 sacks. And then you look at Myles Garrett, and you're like, oh my goodness. And then so the thing is what do you want to have if you're Brad Holmes? Do you want to have a good, like, this is a really good pass rush by the Lions? They got Joshua, they got a pretty good pass rush. Or do you want to have the greatest pass rush of all time? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get one guy who's like he's still in his prime, but now he's kind of getting to he got a couple prime years left, and then a guy who is like he's not hitting his prime yet, but the strides that he was making is incredible. Man, you would have the greatest pass rush tandem in the history of the NFL. So there's no question what I would do. And I think Myles Garrett, like I said before, he's won away with a few dollars to because he's rank chasing. Like that's he made that obviously clear when he requested the trade, is that he wants to win a championship and he's not gonna do it in Cleveland. So I think this is a match made in heaven, man. So I'm going Myles Garrett on this. No knock on Josh Sweat, but Josh Sweat, you ain't got no sweat, and you can't hold no sweat on Myles Garrett. You can't even hold his wife beater when it's dripping wet. So
okay. No. I'll say this. Every option is going to be on the table as far as what we think as fans. I think for Myles Garrett is going to depend on, is Cleveland willing to let him walk out the door. You know what I'm saying? And because they've been saying they've been dead set on him staying in Cleveland. But again, would you want a player on your roster that doesn't want to be there? You know what I'm saying? I think he's a professional. I think he'll do his job regardless. But do you really want a player who doesn't want to be there? And I think would he take will he play out this contract that he's on? He's got 2 years left, or will he want a rework deal? I think he want a rework deal, maybe push some of that cap down the line a little bit, and then you get into that where Goff's money's hitting, Sewell's money's hitting, St. Brown's money's hitting, Aleem McNeil's money's hitting, and all these players are their money's hitting at the same time, and now you got a problem with your salary cap. So
I got an idea.
What's that? No, we're not talking about trading Jared Goff. Please stop talking.
Let it hit there, and we ain't scared. I love the one-on-one action. I'm in there. I'm in there. All of this, all of that. Let it hit.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were doing the.
Nah, he doing some boxing stuff, man. Hey, man, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us with this content and gets it out to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. Thank you for hanging out with us right here on the Boss Up All Our podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. Great discussion today, fellas. All right, make sure, if you haven't done so already, follow the crew on your favorite social media platforms. Coach Jen does a great job. He just dropped a new video yesterday on the Beyond the Ropes playlist talking about boxing. He gave a recap of that Gervonta Davis and Roach fight. So go check that out. I post content from this show on all of my social media platforms, man. And it's Hump Day, baby. So you know what that means. It's Thursday Eve. So make sure you put your overalls on and go over there and farm some yams with my man El Cool Torrance on his other Instagram page. So I'll make sure I'm gonna put that on here just so you make sure you can get all those Instagram pages and saying go check my man out, man, to see what's going on. Time for parting shots on this Hump Day. All right, LL, what you got on this Hump Day for the people?
Don't do that, Kurt. But happy Wednesday, everybody. Shout out to everybody out there. Of course, we don't really know what any of this is going to do, but of course, I would like to have a player like Myles Garrett or whoever, Josh Smith, or somebody we don't know about just yet that's going to come and help us. So I know I don't really care about that. Names is just names in some instances, but Myles Garrett is a big name and a big player. But have a great rest of your week. Haven't said this in a while, but if you get your breakfast burrito, put some hot sauce on that thing.
For real. All right, my man, Coach Jones, what you got, my man? Parting shots for the people.
Yes, sir. So I just want to say the Jackson College football team is loading. And I'm just, trying to bring that into fruition, man. I'm almost done putting together my PowerPoint to present the president and the CEO and the athletic director of why we should have a college football team. And, so I'm getting that going, man. And I'm working. I'm behind the scenes working. And I think that's my calling, man. So wish your boy good luck. I'm trying to bring football to Jackson College, man. And we're gonna do it big, man. We got a couple of high schools around here within I would say a 10-mile radius that have been ranked in the top of the state. Lumen Christi, especially, winning 5 state championships in the last 9 years. So it's a lot of talent around here, man. It's a lot of guys who just be sitting on their thumbs, like, okay, I don't really know what to do, because they can't get those big offers, man. So they end up going to little schools, but ain't nothing to bring community together like playing at Dungy Field and being yeah, man. That ain't nothing like it, man. So football is loading here at Jackson College. Believe that.
Coach Mike.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you. I hope you get everything the universe has for you. But I hope them people don't watch this show and see you talking about Jared Goff, because they're going to never let football be played on account of you.
Anyways, all right, man, make sure you thank you for tuning in right there here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Never mind LL, because he always going to have something to say about JG. Anywho's, hey, hey, if you're having a good day at work, man, so thank you for starting your work day out with us. Make sure you spread that joy to someone else, man, because you never know when a small, kind word can make someone's day. And if you're not having a good day, please don't take no one else's joy, man. And you know what you got to do for your man Kurt Steele and the crew right here. You got to, whatever you're doing in life, boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my fellas, LL Cool Torrance and Coach Mike Jones, this is Kurt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.